Biden's $6.8 trillion budget. Live updates and what's in it. Here's what to know about President Biden's budget plan. The government has technically run out of money. The Treasury is delaying a default with accounting maneuvers, but those options will run out within months. Republicans complain about ballooning debt, but their votes helped it happen. Biden's budget proposes more revenue for Medicare and expanded coverage in Medicaid and Obamacare. President Biden's budget has several health care-related proposals, including ones aimed at prolonging Medicare's solvency by raising new dedicated tax money to finance the health program, and would impose policies to reduce prescription drug prices for various programs. Medicare. Affordable Care Act. Medicaid. Many investments proposed in the budget here and abroad are aimed at countering China. Olivia Dalton, White House Deputy Press Secretary, says the setting for Mr. Biden's budget rollout, a Philadelphia Union Hall, is intended to highlight the people that would benefit from his economic plan, the middle class and unions. The Biden budget nods to economic weakness ahead. Still, the White House projections suggest that an outright recession could be avoided, also in line with the Fed's latest economic forecasts, released in December. The budget asks for more than $6 billion to assist Ukraine. A fact sheet on State Department spending noted that some funds to protect people affected by conflict and disaster will go to a program to provide Ukrainian refugees with a path to U.S. citizenship, but did not say how much. Biden unveils about $5 trillion in tax increases on wealthy and corporations. That tepid economic progress will come alongside slower inflation. By the White House's estimate, inflation is forecast to slow to 4.3% this year, down from about 8% on average last year. Biden's $6.8 trillion budget proposes new social programs and higher taxes on the rich and businesses. President Biden's budget contains some $5 trillion in proposed tax increases on high earners and corporations over a decade, much of which will offset new spending programs aimed at the middle class and the poor. Credit, Pete Maravich for the New York Times. The president's budget proposed $400 billion to deliver affordable child care for parents, $150 billion for home care for older Americans and the disabled, and nearly $400 billion to make permanent expanded health coverage assistance through the Affordable Care Act. It is a largely political document, expected to draw swift criticism from the Republicans who control the House, which reaffirms Mr. Biden's bet on the power of federal spending to reshape the economy to favor workers. The United States has amassed $31 trillion in debt. Here's how. House Republicans are preparing to slash smaller programs. The most conservative lawmakers in his conference, who were emboldened after their 4-day standoff with Mr. McCarthy, a California Republican, earlier this year during his election as Speaker, are pursuing cuts that they concede could cause political pain and blowback among their colleagues. How will the Biden budget projections compare? Biden will seek funding for a program to monitor investments made in China. Biden's budget plan will propose a tax increase to bolster Medicare. The budget plan President Biden is releasing later Thursday will propose raising and expanding a tax on Americans earning more than $400,000 as part of a series of efforts to extend the solvency of Medicare by a quarter century. Biden plans to detail $3 trillion in deficit reduction measures. Biden's budget proposal will set the stage for a fight over the debt ceiling. Mr. Biden has said he will not negotiate over the debt ceiling and that Republicans, whose votes helped fuel America's borrowing binge, need to agree to pay for spending that they authorized along with Democrats. Biden's budget kicks off a long and likely painful process on Capitol Hill. Theoretically, the budget committees in the Senate and House separately draft budget resolutions, setting their own top-line number and providing general contours for federal spending. The consequences of failing to come to an agreement on the federal budget are even graver this year, because a critical bloc of House Republicans have said they will only vote to increase the debt ceiling if Democrats agree to deep budget cuts.